I received what I would consider to be a very sketchy email, but they offered to send me something. So I gave them my address. And 3 days later, this is what showed up. And here is the promotional video provided by the company. We can see the different things that they're claiming the machine can do. Wood cutting, wood engraving, metal engraving, which I think most of us will be most interested in because I've never seen that before. Leather engraving, glass, stainless steel. Alright, let's dive into it. Inside the box we have a manual, sample pieces of wood. These are the legs, safety glasses, power supply, USB-C cable, and a black piece of plastic for focusing the laser. Inside, I was happy to see there are no belts. Instead, it's driven by threaded rods. And of course, don't forget to peel off your protective stickers. Oh. Manual's pretty comprehensive. Just put on the legs and install the app and you're pretty much ready to go. Once you plug it in, it pulses at full power, so be careful, make sure it's not aiming towards you or anyone you care about. So after seeing that, I decided I would put on my safety glasses and we would do a bump test. So in the manual, it says that if it gets bumped by anything or knocked, the laser should stop itself. And it's functioning properly, so it's good to see that. Here is how you can focus the laser or check the focus on your laser. You just put a piece of black material underneath and you turn it left or right to make the beam as small as you can possibly get it. Here's a look at the main screen on the mobile app. And next you're going to get a listen to the machine doing its homing sequence. Now to engrave on taller materials, something you can do is just lift up the legs like I'm doing here. And that'll keep everything in focus like you calibrated it earlier. And I was really surprised to see how well this engraving came out on this hard piece of maple. Now for the real test, putting a piece of metal in here and seeing what the laser can do on it. Now I ran it at a pretty quick speed here on the first test, but I was surprised to see that it actually did change the color of the metal where the engraving was. So I slowed it down. And here we can see the intensity of the metal marking got more intense and it looks pretty impressive. I've only ever seen very expensive fiber lasers do things like this before to metal. So that's at 100% speed and this one is at 50% speed. You can't scratch this off. It's like it's changing the color of the metal. The dog tag is now painted. Engraving paint is quite stinky, so you do not want to do this in your house. And it's going to leave residue behind, but I've got a paper towel with just some water on it. And I'm going to wipe that off. That looks awesome. Looks like the very beginning of the engraving on the side here is having a little bit of an issue. It's a little bit off on the engraving. So I'm actually using Brilliance laser inks. What you do is you spray a light coating of this on to the metal first before engraving. So you can actually see it turning it black there. The top was quite quick at 100% speed, 75, 50% speed. It's still doing the thing with the W. I have no idea what's causing that. It comes right off. Looks pretty good. This is really durable. Cheap steak knife from Walmart. I hope this does not damage my laser because it's very reflective. So, shiny stainless steel, not gonna happen. So we got Heinz, of course, the only brand of mustard to go with, right? I should have framed that out first. Press and hold long terminate. Yes, terminate. Guys, look at that. Mustard. This is incredible. Where's my wiper? Let's wipe it off. Holy, are you kidding me? Because that's actually working. All right, my thing is I'm thinking this is probably just like the black spray that I put on here. It probably will scrape off, right? It's not scraping off. Are you kidding me? Mustard is the way to do this? All right, let's do a for real engraving. I'm gonna let it do the whole thing so we can actually see something. I am so excited to take a look at this. I am. Oh my gosh, guys, look at that. It's dark, it's like black. It doesn't scrape off. Here's a feature I want to test out. You can, under the create settings, you can do a photograph of something. So here's my idea. I'm gonna write what I want on that tool. Okay. And we can take a picture of that. Okay. It brings it into the phone. I'm gonna hit okay. Holy cow. That's pretty neat. And I didn't even have to adjust the contrast or anything. All right, just to show that that feature does work, I did it on the piece of wood here, and you can see my awful handwriting was transferred from the picture to the piece of wood, just like that. Can we use the computer? I was hopeful that this machine might be compatible with a software that I like to use called Lightburn. Sadly, my research shows that it's not going to work out. And there's a really long link. Okay, I'll be back. The application on here is pretty similar to the application on the phone. All right, I just sent the whale image. I don't know what it's doing. It's just engraving tiny spots. Oh. What was it doing right there? I don't think it likes the computer program. I think I'd have better luck switching back over to the phone. Computer software for this is not ready. Needs work. Oh, it went to cutting mode. Oh. The app just crashed. No, I got disconnected. And it crashed again. All right, I pulled out the old iPhone here. This is where it kept crashing before. We're just gonna give it a shot and see if it doesn't crash this time. Oh well. Hey, it's actually working. It's doing the cut. It did it, and it didn't crash. Okay, so yeah, Android needs some work on the app. It's like it. How would I describe this? That's kind of what it was supposed to cut. I don't know, guys. I don't think cutting is gonna really happen on this machine. It doesn't matter how big your material is or the object or project is that you're working on, because you can pick up the entire device and you can set it directly on top of what you are going to engrave. And you can pull out your phone and run it. I mean, I could literally put this in a toolbox and take it with me on site. And granted, the cut surface is not huge. 3.5 on the y-axis, 4 inches on the x-axis. I'm gonna put tape where I'm gonna engrave. All right, time for the results. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is engraved. It's engraved glass. So it's having no problem doing that at 80% speed. Slate coaster. This is something that I make and sell a lot of using my CO2 laser. It's like it has no problem. Honestly, you could start your own business just making customized coasters for people. And here is the laser engraving on a small piece of cardboard. All right, here's our test for cardboard. I had it at 100% speed, 20% power, I believe. Doesn't quite look like the examples that they have on their promo. Pretty decent. If you want a dog on your belt. Okay, I'm noticing full speed from the application. Oh, that just broke off. Well, there you go. Here is a practical use I found for the laser. I've got products boxed up here for a client, and I'm going to label what is inside the boxes. Now, I also want you to take note that this small engraving did take 7 minutes to complete, so you're not going to win any races with this laser machine currently. Though it may not be the quickest, it is quite precise, as you can see here. All right, now I'm going to do a speed test. I've got it at 100% speed on just the word test. We're going to run it, see how long it takes, and then I'm going to compare it to 50% speed because I have a hunch that 50% speed on here is not actually half speed. Okay, it just finished the test at 1 minute. And that's what we engraved right there in 1 minute. I'm going to do the same exact engraving, but now I'm going to set it to 50% speed. I can already tell the thing is like, it's like not moving. So now we can see that at this test, it is taking 7 minutes and 30 seconds to complete the test. So that has been really hard for tuning things into the right speed because you just don't know what the numbers actually mean on there. Like, what is 50% really doing? Because it should have taken 2 minutes, not 7.5 minutes. So I wanted to take a moment to just share my thoughts on the overall functionality of the machine and what I thought about it. Over the time that I spent with it, I took some notes on what's good and what needs improvement. So let's start with the good first. Good things are just the ability to be able to use your phone to control it. You don't have to pull out a computer or anything like that. You just plug in the machine, plop it down, pull out the app, and you're going. The portability, as you can see right here, it's currently engraving on a very large box that would not fit in any other laser, not in my CO2 laser or anything. The fact that you can move this whole device around and put it where you need it is, I think, a really big selling point. The ease of setup, basically, you take it out of the box, you put the feet on, install the app, and you're good to go. The bump sensor is a nice feature, especially if you have animals or kids. Safety glasses are a nice bonus. They come with the kit, so you don't have to worry about getting the right type of glasses for this particular laser. One of the other features that I really like in the app is the ability to use your phone to take a picture of something and import that directly in for lasering, like I showed with my terrible handwriting. Now, I know I said a lot of good things about the machine, but I also have a list of things that are not so good, that need improvement, and I'm hoping that the company will take my review to heart and make improvements where they are needed. So here is what's bad. The app is a little bit limited. I don't really have very good controls as far as the type of cut that it does. A lot of times it will do a double cut. It seems to be some kind of preset in here where it will cut a line and then come back and offset the cut a little bit and then cut the same thing. I don't know what that's about, but it's not making for the cleanest cuts. On my Android phone, I have a Samsung S20, and it seems to crash quite often, especially with the cutting features. Engraving, I didn't seem to run into very many problems, but inside the app, during the cut settings, it would crash almost every single time. Also have an old iPhone here, and the app on the iPhone works flawlessly. I never had any issues with it crashing. One of the really frustrating things that I ran into was the speed and power settings. Like I showed in the test, 50% speed is not actually 50% speed in real life. I took that 1 minute test. That was at 100% speed. I set it to 50% speed, and it took 7.5 minutes. So there needs to be some adjusting inside the app to coordinate
with the machine itself, because it makes dialing in your settings a little bit tricky. I think that the homing sequence sounds a little strange. It seems like the motors are actually pushing it up into the upper left right corner, rather than maybe installing some limit switches or something like that would stop it from having the motors push itself up into that upper left corner. Even at top speed, the machine is pretty slow. Right now I'm doing a engraving that's about 3.5 inches tall, and it's taking a long time. And that might be unfair because I'm comparing it to my CO2 laser, which runs very, very quickly. Some things that they could do to improve the speed is allowing the user the ability to change the interval of each line. You could put your laser a little bit out of focus to give yourself a larger beam, and if you had controls of the settings in there, you could space those lines out more and more, so an engraving like this would not take as long. Another thing that I think needs some attention from the company is when you first plug it in, the laser sends a pulse at, it looks like full power real quickly, so if you have this on top of a material or pointed towards your face, when you plug it in, it could potentially harm your material or harm yourself. I myself have not had good luck with cutting on this machine. I know it has the power, but I've had some issues with the software just not communicating correctly. Sometimes when I have it set to full speed, it's not really running at full speed. So figuring out how to get it dialed in for cuts is definitely a challenge for me. I've seen other people have good luck with cutting on the machine, so you should check out their videos, and I'll list them in the description below as well. I look forward to doing more tests with this machine in the future, also comparing it to my CO2 laser on different materials and things like that. So if you want to follow along with that and see how those end up, be sure to click that subscribe button and tap that notification bell so you'll know when those videos come out. Also, if you have any particular questions about this machine, things that I could answer for you, be sure to leave a comment below. If you have any ideas for future tests that I can run this machine through, or even my CO2 laser on different materials, be sure to leave your questions or comments down below so that I can include those in future videos. With all that being said, I want to thank you for watching, and I hope to catch you on the next one.
I also want to give a big thank you to my patrons on Patreon, especially my top supporter, Kyle Hixson.
So here are my thoughts on this particular machine. I took some notes as I was working on it throughout this past week, and baby.
Let me check on the baby.